Depression Baby. Stories about growing up in Appalachia and other things too. With my dad, Ray B. Rogers.
On August 16th, 1929, I came into this world kicking and screaming. I reckon that made me a depression baby.
Depression Baby is a World Songs media production. Brought to you by Depression Baby the Book, available in Kindle, paperback, and hardcover, and soon audiobook at raybrogers.com. In this episode, Ray tells us about a miracle and a mystery that happened at their house on Dellwood Road.
Were they angels? They came down Dellwood Road, going towards town being Waynesville, North Carolina. They rode in an open-bed truck, as mountain people often did in the Great Depression years of the 1930s. This was not the safest way to get to work, but it was probably the only way to get a paycheck. As they came across the hill, they saw the two-story white frame house belonging to schoolteacher Frank Lee Rogers and housewife Willie Boone Rogers. The house looked good from the road, and most people did not know that the inside of the second floor was unfinished. Dad and Mother just ran out of money, and credit was hard to come by in those years of deprivation and want. The upstairs had an attic-like atmosphere, and unused items were stored there. Mother wrapped sweet potatoes from our garden in newspapers and lovingly placed them in cardboard boxes over the kitchen area so that they would not freeze. The kitchen stove made our kitchen the best heated part of our house. We had sweet potatoes on the table any time we wanted them during the cold mountain winters. Some of the potatoes would probably be white sweet potatoes, preferred by a lot of the mountaineers. A real treat came in a casserole dish, with the mashed sweet potatoes baked with marshmallows on top. A flue had been installed with a stovepipe going from the kitchen stove through the kitchen ceiling and attic and on through the roof. I'm sure that the building codes of today would not have approved of this arrangement, but this was not unusual at this time, and most houses survived without a devastating fire. However, this day was to be different, as a fire broke out where the flue went through the roof. Mother was inside the house and unaware of anything amiss until she heard noise outside and footsteps on the roof. The men in the open-bed truck saw the flames on top of the house as they came over the hill, and they sprang into action. They formed a bucket brigade to bring water from the little stream behind our house and passed the buckets to the man on the roof, who quickly extinguished the flames. How could the timing be so precise? A few more minutes would have been too late and fire would have consumed the house. There was no phone to call a fire truck to come from town, and there were no fire hydrants to hook the hoses to. We like to think, and who are we to deny, that God sent some of His angels dressed in work clothes and overalls to put out the fire and rescue our house. The men left as quickly as they appeared and drove away in their truck without giving their names. And why could they have been God's angels? You see, we never have figured out how they got onto the roof, since we did not have a ladder.
We hope you enjoyed this episode of Depression Baby, and if you did, Ray has just one special request. Would you please consider subscribing for free right now on iTunes and leaving a nice 5-star rating and review? You can make a difference in how many people see this podcast on iTunes and get to hear Ray's stories. If you have any trouble subscribing, just go to raybrodgers.com and look for the little tab near the top that says Podcast. You can also get Depression Baby the book in Kindle, hardcover, or paperback, and soon the audiobook at the same place, raybrodgers.com. Thanks again so much, and see you next episode right here on the Depression Baby Podcast.